everyone. Hope you are doing well. Okay, just to start off, and to the guys not from my company, for which company do I work? That first person. It's yo-yo for you. Let's drop it over there. Oh, sorry. Okay. Cool. Okay. Okay. So there is some swag to get. So, Agile guys, sorry you're not getting the swag, but yeah. Okay, I'm Strauss Bornman. I'm a software engineer at Agile Bridge. And today we will, so who are we? Okay, we're a group of software craftsmen devoted to our, passionate about our craft and devoted to continuous learning to remain on the cutting edge. Okay, so where do we begin? Since we are now talking about UX in software development. Okay, so what is UX? A lot of people confuse UX with UI. UI is actually how it looks. UX is how it feels. If you take a piece of software and you develop it, and you get that on screen, when you click something, how does that make you feel? Does it make you excited? Does it make you feel, okay, this is awesome? Or is it like, please no, I don't want to use this ever again? If anyone has used, older Microsoft products, that was basically it. So we want to consider at every level how you can improve the UX experience of your software that you're building. Not just from, everyone thinks, okay, it's just the front end, they have to worry about it because it's their thing. But if the front end is perfectly designed, everything works perfectly, and you click something and it takes 2 minutes to respond, whose responsibility is that? The backend dev? The solutions architect? Exactly, it's both. So you can't just have someone that is, it's not just one person's responsibility to make sure that that experience the person has from that software is the whole team's responsibility. Everyone has to actually contribute. So let's start with the solutions architects, okay? Now, I was thinking of showing you guys an architecture that was very badly optimized for performance and one that's not. But if you're a solutions architect, you would have gone through that process. So what I'd rather do is give you a few questions that you can ask for your different services and your different functionality that you have in your solution. Can you move it out and what to do with it? Okay, so for solutions architect, we have, these three questions that I like to ask. Does your user need to know about it? So, wait for it, or does he have to interact with it? Okay, does he need to know about it? Okay, example, logging. Your user does not need to know you're logging anything. So, why is the user waiting for it? Fire it and forget. It's something that does not need to have the user waiting for. Okay, does he need to interact with it? Something like authentication. If the user has to authenticate with it, that process needs to be designed in such a way that it actually, that has to be prioritized and built that it doesn't slow down your process. That the user doesn't have to, what's the word I'm looking for now? The user doesn't get a fear of authenticating on your service. Okay? And wait for it. Okay? Again, authentication. If the person, which one am I now? Yes. Okay. If the user has to wait for certain data, okay, example would be on Takealot viewing your products. Okay, but to optimize that, you can cache it. Okay? So that is one of the most simple things that you can do to improve your performance. And as your solutions architect, you're the person that has to consider these things to actually make sure that when your back-end developers and build your stuff and your front-end developers get to that point where they're building an interaction, that they have the maximum amount of performance from your side. That when they actually get to that point, that they need to come in and say, okay, cool, this works. They don't have to now click and wait for a few minutes just to show some products. Okay. So next, let's look at the backend developers. Okay. So basically, back-end developers enable the front-end guy to create something great. Okay? A lot of you guys, well, you always try to create a performance app, but that's not necessarily where your issues might lie. On back-end, we're going to look at some code just now, and I can just show you a simple example of that, something that might affect the users that are using your application. So a simple example is response codes. I've worked on many systems where the people just like to send a bad response code. So 400 and a message. Now, if you think about that and you are interpreting that on a front end, it might seem like a trivial task just to convert that small text and do a comparison, and string-to-string comparison. But string-to-string comparison on a mobile device that is 10 or 20 years old might not look significant for you because you're working on a great machine, but you might have a client that's trying to buy your product that is very loaded, but he's still rocking his old Nokia 3310, and, okay, let's say not a Nokia 3310, you can't access the web through that, on the modern Nokia 3310. Okay, your string comparison might not look so great. So let's take a quick look here. Okay, everyone's eye relaxed a bit? Okay, so as you can see here, this was my pointer. Oops, one back. Okay. So as you can see here, we have 2 bad requests and a status code 500 at the bottom. Just returning, okay, these are the fields on a, okay, this is a user registration, just so everyone knows. Okay, so you're trying to register, you missed some fields, or the email already exists. Now the user sends that, the backend developer sends that to you. Okay, as a front-end guy, easy, do a comparison. But now, you're getting that user with a very crappy phone, and he tries to register. Okay, he gets that, and that system is slow on his phone. Takes a few, so let's say 10, 20 seconds, that degrades the experience that that user is having. Okay, so as a backend developer, so this is an example of how front-end code would look just to read your data. So decoding the JSON message and then doing string comparison. Okay, simple solution. Use the error codes that we were given. Error codes were what? Created in the 70s, and there was a reason for it, because machines at that time were not powerful enough to be able to do it. But now we are spoiled by very, very strong machines, enabling us to actually do comparison without worry. But the error codes are there, so we can now create more performance for our front-end devs just by sending them the correct error code. So sending a bad request over there, but sending a not acceptable code for somewhere else would help. Okay, so front-end, no string conversion, just compare the pure, the integer that you're having. Okay, so now, sorry for blinding everyone again. So what's the difference? Okay, on your powerful machine, you might not see a difference. But I wrote a small script, okay, that does string comparison and an integer comparison on 100,000 cycles. So it basically counts through 100,000 and compares it to the previous one. Very simple piece of code that does the comparison and then logs the start and end times for us. Okay, you can see down here, just logs the time, okay, and seeing what is the difference between those 2 times. Now, most machines, you would probably think 0 response time difference, okay? But on my current laptop, there's a 3 millisecond difference, okay? It might not seem a lot because it's so many cycles. But again, this machine is a lot more optimized than the guys sitting in the field working on a Nokia E63 that might access your web app. Those devices are not actually optimized to do these type of comparisons. Okay, So just by doing a simple, by doing a simple change to sending proper error codes might help you actually help your front end people create better user experiences for this. This is one small example of what you might be able to do to enable the front end experience to be better. So if you look at this, and a lot of people might think, okay, cool, there is a better way of doing it. Think of what is the way that you can do it that will optimize your time and enable the front-end people to actually create user experiences for any device that is acceptable. Because you cannot have a device that's responding 10, 20 seconds later on something that's simple as on a click. Okay. Now we're going to the front-end people. This is the more obvious one that most people think, okay, cool. They just need to make sure that code runs great and that everything works. But you would be surprised, a lot of front-end devs do not consider UX at all. Okay, so I have 5 keys that I say you have to consider just on a simple button click. Okay? Reaction. Okay? Let's go. Reaction. Responding to a click. Not, okay, doing a loader of it, just something that shows this button has been clicked. So a lot of the Android devices, you'll see there's a splash coming up on the back of the button. That is a simple interaction. Okay? Indication. Let the user know something is happening in the back end. So, simple thing as a loader. Loaders help a lot because a lot of people will think, okay, no, cool, you can forget about it and they will continue. But like my wife does, if something doesn't show a loader, she'd click that button 500 times. And like, stop, just stop. Okay? So you guys, just, that is very important. Okay? And on that, courtesy. Okay? When you're developing something, you have to consider the user's time. You can't have something loading for 2 minutes. If there's set timeouts are there for a reason as well. So after 20, 30 seconds, just show a message. The item has timed out, and then maybe just have something that indicates to your backend, cool, this thing has timed out. Or just make sure your backend is synced with their timeout sessions. Order of operations. This comes back to the loader. If you have that button, you click it, and it does the operation, and then the loader shows, that means that there's a time where that user thinks, okay, cool, nothing happens, I'm going to click again. If you don't disable your button early enough, that user again is going to think, okay, nothing happened, I can click again. So now you have multiple occurrences of the same operation happening in your app. Just want to make sure I'm on the right screen. Okay, making sure that you don't have these multiple requests going through the whole time to your backend. Okay, and response. So basically, a response that just say, hey, we're done. So your user can actually go and say, cool, we are done, we can continue with our item. Just, can we all on the questions for the end? Okay. Okay, now, the scary part of any presentation, I'll be doing a live demo. Okay. And this is luckily, okay, so just in here. Okay, so, okay, just give me a sec. That was not supposed, oh, there's an X there that's not supposed to be there. Exactly, click it 500 times. Okay, kill it, just run it again. Okay, so I'm doing this so that you know this is not recorded. So you can see it is actually live. Okay. Just give us a few seconds. Chrome was running just a second ago. Here it is, this side. Okay. Hey? It works on my machine. Okay, so simple thing. Okay, let's go back to our slide and just want to go back one. Okay, wait, to those 5 key points. So firstly, reaction. If you look at this press me button, sorry guys, okay, you see that? Most people, okay, cool, we'll press the button. Okay, oh wait, I have a delay in my response. Okay, just want a 0-second response for now. Okay, so if I press it, okay, it just continues, okay? But there's no, let's go back to that, there's no reaction. So, important, give the user a reaction. Okay, so we're just gonna go down. Okay, and replace this with a nice button. And the thing is, especially if you're back-end dev and you're demoing something for a client, you know, a POC, that thing, the first thing that the client sees is actually that interface. It's not your fancy code, it's not that. And that small little thing might actually change the person's mind from, oh, this is great, to not think, what's going on? Oh, no, wait, it's, okay, let's see. So there's my button. Okay, so see, it has an indication that if you hover over it and you press it, there is a reaction. Okay, an indication. Okay, so an indication that we are doing something. Okay, we're going to go back up here, and we're going to change this back to 2 seconds. So now we're waiting. Okay. Okay, so now if we save this, we update, and we press. Okay, waiting 2 seconds. Okay, very great experience, you know? Nothing happening. So if I go, take my wife's example, it takes a while before anything happens. Okay, and now, you see, when it updated, it didn't show any of the previous interactions. It just showed the last interaction. Okay, so now, if we think about this, we want to show a loader for the person. So, just going to say, okay, so here, process, okay, reloading. Okay, there's our indicator showing that we're doing something, and even though we're not doing anything. Okay, so just here. Okay, so bool false. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now nothing's happening. So now, go into our item over here, say set state, oh, state loading equals true. Okay, and then just very strange programming from afar. Okay, there and to false. So that just awaits for that now to be loading. So now, if I press it, shows me a loader. Okay, cool. But, so if we go back to our items, okay, I'm just going to skip courtesy for now. Order of operations. Okay, what happens if I do now this? There we go. Okay, if we now, okay, so you see, the service is called first, and then it's only saying loading. So, pressing, nothing happens, because it said it, so waited for it, and then it just said, okay, cool, no, I'm done. So, order of operations in this manner is very, very important. So, as another example, just on this. So I'm just going to move this data. So this is a fake loading that I did here. Just going to move it to before the data. So now, again, this service, the order of operations changed. Okay? Okay, now I click it, okay, multiple times. You see, it's now doing something else than it previously did. Because this delay waited for it to finish before it changed the data. So just those small changes what the experience is on the front end. Okay, again. Okay. Okay, just like that. So the data updated correctly this time. Okay, but so just considering what your order of operations are in your, so just waiting for you, just changing the order of operations might change the experience that the user has actually on that front end. So doing this in this order might change it. So another example of that is, let's say I'm also saying, okay, who's the message? Okay, so we're now just hiding the button. Okay, but let's call this, okay, horrible naming, and made an error as well. Great. So I'm just gonna duplicate this. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Just that. Okay, so now it's in reverse. There we go. The button's still showing. Okay. Now, so let's say we're doing this again, where we are loading. Okay. And we want to, so loading over there, and then button over here. Okay. So now, again, I press it, and the loader's there, but now the button's gone. Oh, because I didn't restore it, sorry. Okay. So the correct operation, oh, what did I do here? Sorry. Okay, there we go. So the correct operation here would be hiding the button, then showing the loader, and then starting your process. But now, because I didn't do it in the correct order of operations, you have this, that whole effect is doing nothing. Okay. Now, so let's just go change this into a better state. Okay. Oh man. Okay. So now press me shows the loader instead of that and showing it back. Okay. So now back to this response. Just showing your user, okay, cool, I did something. Okay. Back to the code. This side. Just say, okay, where's my, so that, okay, but after this, okay, snack bar, okay. Just a small indication for the user that we did actually update something. Okay, wait. Cool, yay, we updated. Okay, simple items might change the user experience from, oh, this is a crappy site, to, wow, this is amazing. Code on the backend might be exactly the same, but what your user experiences, what your client experiences, might change drastically. Okay, last one, courtesy, because I skipped it. just literally adding a timeout to your, okay, so just, why am I doing that? So that's just a timeout function. So we can say, yeah, as well, where's that snack bar? Oh, sorry, wrong one. Okay, so I have two windows open of the same thing. And, okay, so where's my service? Going up. So just here, okay, view. Anyone know the shortcut for wrapping? Okay, so just over here, we're gonna just comment that out. Okay, so we're saying after 1 second, we are timing out and just letting the user know, oh no. Okay, so simple, okay, press 1 second, 2 seconds, and it's working correctly, that one. It's not working incorrectly. Okay, where is it doing it here? Oh, sorry, this is in the service, yeah. Okay, so going to do that, and then undo. Okay, that I'm going to remove. Okay, that's talking out, and then, okay, cool. Try. Okay. Catch. Okay, so now just move that in. It's moaning about something. There we go. Try, catch, play. Oh, yeah. Probably need to catch the error, right? Okay. Okay. So now, basically, should time out. Oh no! So just letting your user know something is actually up. So, as you guys saw, I highlighted each letter, meaning recore. Strangely enough, this was not planned. Recore means richness. Bringing richness to your application. Yeah. Okay. And the last person that needs to know UX, designers. You would be surprised how many designers actually do not understand UX. So I'm going to tell you, if you find out your UX is horrible, go to design and cock them out. I give you permission. Because, too many times. So if you see it, and you see, okay, cool, this, like, what I'm going to have to build here is going to be a horrible experience. Go to that designer and say, hey, guys, this doesn't look right. Let's do something that will make this a great experience. Okay, we're done. Thank you, everyone. Okay.